Is this a ridiculous reason to break up? And how do I put this into a breakup speech? I'll keep it short and simple. My boyfriend and I have been together for 1.5 years and we live together. I honestly thought that moving in together was a terrible idea. He's like a 20-year-old child. I have to do everything for him. He only cares about his reputation, the way others perceive him, even if it means fucking me over or being rude to me. Why did I date him, you ask? Well, as I said, he cares about the way people perceive him, and in the beginning, he cared a lot about the way I perceived him. But now he doesn't care. He is blatantly rude and disrespectful, in my opinion, and doesn't do shit. He even expects me to plan his trips to see his friends, what time he has to wake up, when he has to leave, etc., and I've had enough. Is this a ridiculous reason to break up? If it isn't, then how can I put this into a breakup speech?
If I wanted a child, I would have had one. I did not agree to become your mother when we moved in together. Our relationship is over and I am moving out. Goodbye.
You know him well enough to know what life with him would be like. Why stick around? I wish you good luck.
Well, if you hate it, then it's a reason to break up, so go salvage the rest of the summer and end it. You don't need a speech. Sounds like he has changed. Which is a super valid reason to leave, not that you need one, you can do whatever you want.
This isn't ridiculous. Verbal abuse is easily a reason to break up. Also doesn't carry his own weight and expects you to just tell him you don't want to date anymore because it's not working if you are scared to say why.
Keep it nice, short and simple. I'm breaking up with you. Have a good life and don't contact me. We are gathered here today so that I may inform you of my imminent departure. Goodbye.
You never have to justify breaking up. I don't want to be with you anymore is a complete sentence. Not up for debate.
Please break up with him. He's a man-child that doesn't respect you yet wants you to mother him.
You do not owe him any explanation. Giving him one only invites an argument. Just end it and move on.
I personally believe that you are allowed to break up with someone for whatever reason you want. Sometimes that reason might make you seem like an a-hole, but if you don't want to date that person anymore, you're allowed to end it. Your reason is absolutely justified. If he's disrespecting you more and more the further in you get, then it'll only get worse from here. Get out now before it gets worse.
It's pretty easy, actually. You just tell him to fuck off. If he asks why, tell him you want a boyfriend, not a sniveling, self-centered, angry, good-for-nothing little man-baby.
It would be ridiculous if you did not break up with him.
The fact that you don't want to be with him anymore is reason enough. You don't need more reason than that. That being said, he treats you like you're his butler. It's absolutely understandable that you've had enough.
You don't need a speech or anything like that. Just say, lately I haven't been happy in the relationship and I'd like to move out and move on. Your feelings are valid. It's a worldview, but it's worked for me. I trust the universe to provide. I can't be in a good relationship if I'm spending my energy in a bad one. So while it is scary as hell, I'm going to leave bad situations so I can have good ones. I'd advocate being alone for a bit. You need time to recalibrate, and right now is a pretty bad environment for dating anyway. Explore interests. Find and decorate your new place. Learn to cook a new cuisine. Watch classic movies. Read books. Get busy in a productive way. Connect with new folks at work, the gym, online. However, connect with friends and family now, you'll feel less lonely.
Sounds like he's a narcissistic and a gaslighter. Nothing you say will make sense to him. He could have murdered someone and that's the reason you're leaving, and he still wouldn't get it.
Breakup speech. WTF grade are you in?
Greater than. Is this a ridiculous reason to break up? Not at all. If you are not happy in a relationship, move on. Greater than. If it isn't, then how can I put this into a breakup speech? Your problem is not the speech. Your problem is your living arrangement. Do you have a lease together? Can you move out now? That is the stuff that really needs to be untangled.
The fact that you want to break up with him is enough of a reason. You don't need to justify yourself to anyone. I'm breaking up with you. But why? Because this relationship isn't right for me anymore.
Living together has made me realize that we aren't as compatible as I'd wish, and I think it's better that we break up. You don't need more than that.
What the shit? This is an absolutely perfect reason to break up with someone. That being said, any reason is a valid reason to break up with someone. You don't need to find the perfect reason. "I don't want to date you anymore," is reason enough. You don't need a breakup speech. Save yourself the trouble and just tell him you're done. There will be no discussion, and you two need to part ways. Don't let him sucker you back in with fake promises. Don't let him play the victim. Don't let him change your mind. Move on, be free, and get happy.
I honestly would tell him to get fucked and then walk out the door. He sounds like a nightmare.
This is very simple. Your feelings are valid and all you have to say is, "You're not a little kid and I'm not your mom, take care of your own shit or I'm leaving." If he says no, which he probably will, you leave, and don't look back. In future relationships, stand your ground and don't move in with someone unless you have proof they are independent enough on their own.
You are allowed to break up with anyone, for any reason, at any time.
If anything, that is a top-notch reason to break up. You aren't being ridiculous, and I think the way you worded it here is actually perfect considering how much of an entitled man-child he appears to be.
It's definitely not a ridiculous reason to break up. It sounds like you are in more of a motherly type of role than an actual girlfriend, and you have to ask yourself how much longer you are willing to put up with that. He sounds pretty immature, and people don't really mature overnight. Even the disrespect on top of that is enough reason to break up. IMO. Try and listen to your gut. If you are feeling fed up with him, it's probably a good idea to either confront him about everything, or move on. Not ridiculous at all. If you're unhappy, it's your choice to decide if you want to leave. It's not anyone's place to tell you that you're overreacting, or being dramatic. If it upsets you, it upsets you. You need to do what's best for you, not anyone else. Is the fact that my boyfriend routinely treats me like crap a ridiculous reason to break up? Is that your question?
Greater than he is blatantly rude and disrespectful, in my opinion, and doesn't do shit. Literally just tell him this.
Greater than is this a ridiculous reason to break up? It would be ridiculous not to break up with this guy.
You don't need to have a breakup speech. For many, that's just an invitation to argue.
Music score: fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Musical notes.
There is no such thing as a ridiculous reason to break up. If you aren't happy in the relationship for any reason, you can end the relationship. If you just didn't have feelings for them and they were a nice person, you still can break up with them. And it sounds like you have a lot of reasons to end it because you are unhappy. I'd personally just say that you feel like he takes you for granted, is rude, and not an equal partner. You want someone who is an adult and doesn't expect someone to take care of them like a mommy.
You actually don't need any reason to break up. If you don't want to be in a relationship with him anymore, you don't have to be. If you have to give him a reason, just say, "I want a partner, not a child. You've given me no reason to think you're going to improve, so I'm going to assume you won't improve. This relationship is done. You don't need a breakup speech. You just need to leave, probably while he's out next, and then text him saying you're not happy so you've left and he's now single."
You're not his girlfriend, you're his secretary. Break up with him and let him deal with his own appointments. His friends will soon figure out that he's a child. Don't even incorporate any of this into a breakup speech. Just tell him that you need a boyfriend, not a second job, and leave it at that.
No longer enjoying the relationship as reason enough to break up.
Yo, I'm your partner, not your mother. I don't need the responsibility to take care of you, so I feel it's best if we just go our separate ways. Just say that.
It's hard to think of a better reason to break up with someone. In the future, listen to your gut. If you think moving in with someone is a terrible idea, there's probably a reason for it. Just tell him you're done. I'm done being disrespected, put down, and having to mother you. This relationship has run its course, and I'm done with you.
Dump that fool.
This is not a ridiculous reason to break up. For the sake of your dignity, I see that you have two options. 1. Talk with him. Tell him you are at your limit and you need him to work harder, whether it's chores or something else. You have to think about what you'd want from him. This has a low chance of working because most people don't change, but it's an option nonetheless. 2. Break up with him. Either start with this, or try option 1 first. But you should not let things stay as they are. You can find someone who you can work with, not against. You don't need to find the right words to break up. The fact is he doesn't help you enough. That's all the reason you need. But you can leave on whatever terms you want because it's your choice.
By staying with him you're wasting time. Plan an exit strategy to back to your friends and also make new friends. Important thing is to break up with him. You are not happy with him, so why waste time? We live in a world with billions of people. Don't be scared to find new people to make a bond with. It's not worth staying in a relationship that doesn't satisfy you.
In my opinion, there is no ridiculous reason to break up with someone. If you don't want to be with someone, that's your choice, and if you find it difficult to explain why, then there's always the option of simply saying, "This relationship no longer makes me happy," or something else similar or vague that can still be considered reasonable. Wish you the best.
Just tell him the truth. He is a immature, lazy ass man-child that's so self-centered. Truth hurts, but if the shoe fits.
No, not ridiculous at all. You were blatantly rude to me and disrespectful. I don't want to put up with this anymore.
Just leave, girl. I've been through this multiple times. Why I let myself IDK, and trust me when I say it, if you don't hate him now, you will later.
You're a bitch, I'm leaving.
He's lazy, self-centered, selfish and disrespectful. All good reasons on their own to break up.